Nice to meet you here from Havana, Dr. Margarita and Tarek. We are very happy to receive you and to talk about this special work that you both do as clowns. But you are also persons who, on their daily life, are not always are not always making laugh. So, to start forward, I would like you to explain me, Tarek, what it gets to be a clown.
What it gets to be a clown?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I will first say that to be a clown, you have to have the talent, you have to have the possibility, you have to have the time, you have to have this patient, that you want to be, and you have to have believing in it. You have to believe that you can really do something good, and you have to change, and you think that you can change. Other than that, you cannot be a clown. This is the main big things. For sure, to be a clown, that needs a lot of study, that needs you have to get a lot of trainings, you have to try a lot, to learn a lot, because clown is also making, if you're a clown, that makes you also a better person, that makes you understanding the things different, that makes the connection between you and other people better, or between you and yourself even, because you get to know yourself more. So it's a big thing, and there is a lot of conditions, let's say, if you want to be a clown, but you can be a clown. This is the point.
Traditionally, we conceive clowns as circus clowns, but where is the difference between that clown and the clown that you work with?
I tell you, for me, from my point of view, there is different kind of clowns, for sure, always, all the time. Circus clown, and what Red Noses Palestine or Red Noses Jordan is offering is a different kind of clown. Circus clown is a lot about skills. It's a lot about juggling, fire, jumping, magic, things like this. The clown in the hospital, or the clown who we offer, is a lot about character. It's a lot about building up the character. It's a lot about being aware of where you are and being able to be in this sensitive environment, which is hospitals and other elderly houses or places where you can work. And this is also will kind of like push you as a clown to know more about where you are. So you have to know a little bit about medical, you have to know a little bit of the patients who are there, why they are there, and then it allows you to be part of the healthcare team, which is also a completely different team than the circus team. And this is different, because then it goes into I call it theatrical clowning, which is a lot about story, a lot about building up things between you and your partner as clowns. It's a lot about working on a space, getting the connection with the eyes, because on circus you can perform, but there, when you are in the room with one kid or two kids, you have to see the eyes. And the eyes are the connection. You have to read what is happening. You have to see this fear and reduce it. And this is a big difference.
You were talking to me about Red Noses Palestine, because you're Palestine, and because of that, I want you to explain me a little bit about that project, that organization you work with.
That organization, we started as a project, small project, 2010, and I was one of the first clowns there.
Because you've been a clown for 8 years.
2010 as we started, and then 2012 it was registered. We were 1-2 clowns, with one hospital. Today we are in 20 clowns and in 16 hospitals working in different projects and different programs. We work now in the pediatric program, which is for all kinds of pediatrics, in the hospital. We work and we have a program called geriatric, which is geriatric departments in the hospital or elderly houses. But it's very important for us that we don't go to a club like for old people. We go only for old and sick. So they're together. So we work with this kind of, or this part of target groups, let's say. We also have something called Circus Smile, which is a different project. It's a very special project that you teach, and it's actually specialized for marginalized areas or for refugees in Palestine. So we go to places where they are, we collect 20 kids, let's say, and we work with them for 4 days in a row. We teach them.
How is that work?
We organize it. We organize it with 2 clowns. They are always there. They work with the kids for 4 days in a row, 3 hours every day. They teach them skills. They teach them skills that they can use, juggling and stuff like this. And the whole idea behind it is the psychosocial support we can do. And the whole idea also behind it is that they know and they discover that they can do things they never expected to do. They will juggle, they just saw it on TV, but they will learn it, and they will know, and they will have the idea that when you fail, it's a way to be successful. It's a way, it's just a process. And you try, in the end you will do it. And they tell you, with this project I have been doing a long time, after 4 days, the kid is believing in himself more. The kid is doing whatever he wants and he's learning. Then it becomes, and it awakes an interest in the kid. It opens more doors. It helps him as a person, because in the 4th day, he is performing. That's always the program. In the 4th day, he performs as the star of the show for the people he will invite, like his family, his friends, and this is very special program, and he will perform with the clowns, the real clowns. So he will feel like all the 20 kids, and he will feel that he can stand there in front of people, perform, and be a clown, or be someone who can do something really nice. And he will get appreciation, because then everyone will just clap for him. We have also a program called Intensive Smile, which is a very special program also for surgery rooms and departments, where we work with a kid. I will not go deep with it because it's a very deep program, but the whole idea behind it is that the kid, the last thing he sees before the surgery room is clown, and the first thing he sees when he leaves that room back is a clown. So, and in between, the clowns are being more connection, more in that feeling of solidarity with the parents who's waiting for the kid to get out of the room. So he will be waiting there with the family to that kid. We have also a humor and healthcare program where we teach, we give workshops. I don't like to say teach, but we give workshops to doctors and nurses in the hospitals to use some of the things that they can use as doctor and nurses, which is we call humor in healthcare. They use humor, a little bit of skills that can help them with building up the relationship with the patients, instead of being, because this is the image of the doctors or nurses that they are fear, but no, they are not, and they can do other things, and they can help with other things. They can introduce themselves in a different way. They can be funny if they want, and this will also break. But this is also what our clowns is, because our clowns are always having white coats as doctors to build up the bridge of the doctors are not scary. They want to support, they want to help only. Yeah.
You were talking about one of the projects inside Noses Palestine, which are intended for refugees. How is that work? The emotional implications it comes with working with refugees?
Well, as you know, Palestine is under the occupation, and there is so many refugees. I am myself a refugee. I'm from Jerusalem, lives in Bethlehem. We cannot go to Jerusalem. But it's very important to give that opportunities and to bring laughter and support to this refugee camps, let's say we call it. I mean, everything is just mixed there, that everyone is just living with each other. But it's very important to give this opportunity to the kids in the refugee camps to learn new things, to have the idea that in a way you work a lot, you will get a lot. If you do more, if you believe in something, you will get it. And because the opportunities they have is less than the not refugees, you know, let's say, the options they have is also less. So we are trying to offer things also that is different, and it helps them as humans also in their future. If they are not going to be artists, it's not important, but they are more convinced of themselves. They believe in themselves more. So they can really be something. And there's so many good like examples, you know. We have tried.
For example?
Oh, there is a professional juggler now, just because of this 4 days of Circus Smile project. We went there, and there was this kid who was like too much into it. He just discovered it, but he felt that this is his life, this is his thing, you know, and he wanted to do it forever. And when we left, he had to find alternatives, and he was juggling with stones, and he was finding out how can he make juggling balls, and then he did it, and now he is doing juggling with 7 balls, with fire, this is his work now, this is his. So you open opportunities, you open doors to them during this also. One of the targets of this project, because this project is also having so many beyond than just skills. It's not about skills, it's beyond the skills.
There is a kind of a debate between if clowns are the kind of clowning. There is a debate on the kind of clowning that you do. If it's therapeutic or if it's medical. For you, which one is it?
For me, clown is a clown. For me, he's not a doctor, he's not a therapist, he's not a nurse. For me, a clown is a clown. He's an artist who wants to use the art of clowning to help in that environment, to be part of the healthcare team, but as a clown, not as a doctor, and not mixing the profession things. That's my opinion.
But when you have a doctor, let's say, for example.
If we have a doctor?
If you have a doctor in that team of clowns.
In my team there is no doctors. They are open to come for the auditions, because what we do, how can we get the clowns, how we get them, it's a very long, difficult process. It's not easy. They come for first audition 1 day, shortlisted. We take them to another audition 4 days, again shortlisted. They go for training 4 days, shortlisted, and then they go for 4 months trainings in the hospital and out of the hospital, watching clowns for a long time without doing clowning, and then we see the visit they do, and then we tell yes or no. And this is a very long and difficult training and auditions, because the quality, for me, the quality of the clowns have to be very high to work in this very sensitive environment. It's not easy, because you can harm as much as you can help. So if you can be that good clown and you can help, so we want you as a good clown and only clown. Because if a clown thinks that he is a doctor, ooh, because you cannot try things, you cannot do surgery, you cannot, you are a clown. Just be a clown, you are responsible for bringing the joy and laughter. It's easy, but that does not mean that a doctor is not allowed to be a clown. This is also, it's not, there is in art, there is now white and black, and this is very important. It's not like 1 + 1 is 2. I don't see it like this.
I'm very anxious to hear what Margarita has to say about it.
It's just an opinion.
Yes, it's his point of view.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. And I say it like this, that a doctor can use, you know, that's what I said, they can use things. But from my point of view, not a clown, because when they are, actually, if they are in the hospital, a doctor, who uses beautiful ways to reach and build up a good relationship with the patient, you know. it is amazing. But if it's sometimes clowning and sometimes doctors, I don't know how much is also this relationship will be very clear for the kid or for the family or for the people. It's a very sensitive, it's a line. You have to be very good clown and amazing clown to make this relationship very clear. That's also my opinion, you know, because it's dangerous. And it's dangerous when the clowns are talking as doctors for the parents of the patients, because then they will ask you about medical things. They will ask you about like, hey, my kid today is, I don't know, what should I give him for medicines today? Like, well, I don't know, I'm not doctor, I cannot support in that part. It's very dangerous, because also it's very sensitive that can happen that a doctor in the hospital can ask you for help as a clown. And it's very important that it's very clear, because also hospitals are built on hierarchy, you know, doctors and nurses and this is empowerment. Clown is empowering the kid. For me, tick, tick, tick on the door and giving the chance and the option to the patient to say yes, come in, or no, is empowerment. You are empowering the kid. And while you come in as a clown with a white coat, you build up the bridge between the patient and the doctor. And the doctor is not scary, you know, this is also something important. And being in that part of empowering that kid or that patient in general, because it can be kid, it can be older, is because they are the weakest point in the hospital. Everyone there is controlling them. You sit here, you come here, you make, we want to take this, we take you to the room, we have a surgery. He's controlled completely, he's weak. And there, the clowns have to have their point and their game. How can we involve that kid in? How can we have him even deciding some of the small things? Just like tuk tuk tuk, can we come in, is already an empowerment. That's my opinion.
Tarek, from listening to you, I can see that one of your favorite parts of clowning is the work with children. Which are the emotional implications of working with children that sometimes are very sick, very ill, and they know at some point they'll die, but also to encourage them for that time to live happy, to live in peace, but also give them hope, them, the children and their families.
This is the biggest actually emotional time. This is the biggest effect, not only on the kid. You are asking a question now for how can we, because the kid knows that he will die or it's difficult, but it's also the other way around. The team in Palestine are having the clowns, are having a supervisor, a psychologist supervisor who works with them every year 3-4 times in taking out the stories they have, because they are also humans and they work with these kids, and sometimes they lose kids. Sometimes there is this relationship that you build because you do regular visits, and there is a kids who stays really long and you lose them after sometimes, where you build a nice relationship. For me, we can be part of making positive energy, nice atmosphere, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of, but we cannot, that's why I also think we cannot heal. It's not like we are not healers, you know. We can make this beautiful atmosphere that helps in general, because when we do this, it does not only help the patient, it does help the parents who's there, if there is guests there, even the nurses and the doctors, because the atmosphere will be for the whole department, not only in the room, it's everywhere. And this will help everyone to work
but for you specifically, which are the emotional implications for you? Not for the others, for you.
As a clown.
As a clown, as a person also.
This is the point where I told you I had so many stories in my as a clown, and it was so difficult. It was not easy. I had to find out ways how to deal with it, and I mean, you can build up this great thing with a kid, and you can lose the kid for sure. It can happen or it cannot. For me, I just believed in one thing. After many experience, there is one sentence that was here after all of this experience that was giving me the feeling that it is still great. Even if they die, it is still great, because I believe that we can be the reason of the last smile, the last laughter on that kid. And at least it was the time that he was living in was better because of me. And this is for me a big gift, you know, a big thing, because we reduced the fear or the sadness that is there, a little bit of his life. I mean, because we cannot save his life, it's, you know, but we can make his life a little better.
Margarita,
Yes.
you've been working, sharing your work, because you're an oncologist, with clowning for quite a long time, also around 8 years, in fact 7. But in that period, you've been away, you've been abroad, working in Haiti,
Yes.
and now you came back, and now you're
Start.
starting all over again, and you are from Santiago de Cuba province, and you were telling me that you work with the people in the mountains, in Contramaestre, Tercer Frente. How is that work? How do people from the countryside of Cuba, from the mountains of Cuba, receive this oncologist who comes also as a clown to work with them, to help them?
Yes, first things, I'm not a clown from profession, but I'm a doctor that uses laughter. Using a red nose, using a white coat with different funny things. So we are using this therapy not only in the main cities, in Santiago and Havana, because countryside have people. Countryside have needed people. And what it is interesting is that we are working not only with the patients in the countryside, we are taking patients from hospitals, kids and pregnant women and persons with cancer. We are moving from the hospital, from their homes, to the countryside to receive a natural treatment. We can say natural treatment using the therapy of laughter with also patients. And it is so amazing to do it.
Now that you're talking about a smile therapy, I want to ask you again,
See?
which is that difference between medical clowns, therapy clown? How do you conceive them? How is it that you see that character, that role?
Well, I know Tarek has his own opinion, and we don't want disagreement between us because we are sister and brother, different culture, but we belong to humanity.
Of course.
So everyone, we work with feeling. Even you speak Arabic, Palestinian, English, I speak Spanish. We all human beings, we speak one language.
Of course.
It's the language of the soul. And when we are using therapy of laughter, sometimes you don't use words. We don't use words.
You
Just
need
is
it.
a view approach, making some movement. So this is a universal language. We don't need word for this therapy. And this is amazing. I consider that this is a therapy. I consider this is
Why?
This is a therapy because you are helping people, you are making people heal themselves. So if you are applying something that helps them to recover their health, so you are doing therapy. Not a conventional that we know, but this is an alternative therapy.
You specifically how you deal with the emotional implications of being a doctor, but also being a clown. How do you deal with it?
Well, this is a big challenge. Now that I start here in Cuba and in the countryside, that there is a little mentality. But what moved me, what moved my lover is love to patient. And no matter what people think, oh, the doctor, the oncologist is using a red nose, what crazy thing it is. No matter. Because my reason is the patient, that the patient feel well, that the patient recover himself. So I don't care.
How did you felt that need to help in another way ill people, but from the perspective of a clown?
Mm-hmm. Well, Laura, we use a conventional treatment. In the case of oncology, we use surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, hormone therapy. And even we are using those therapeutic weapons, there are more than 50% of patients that die. So that led me to find other options. And this is how I arrived to the therapy of laughter.
And how you felt doing it? What did it took from you? What where you put of yourself as a human being on that character?
Ooh, well, that's I don't know how I can explain it. But for example, the clown that I use, the therapeutic clown, I call him Doctora Tutti Frutti. I'm Dr. Margarita, but the clown that I use is Tutti Frutti. So this is a different person. Some people say, hey, Dr. Margarita, please. Oh no, hey, I'm not Dr. Margarita right now. I'm Doctora Tutti Frutti, okay? So this is another character, and have a big influence in my life, because you are giving treatment to people. So all things in life is a process of feedback. You give, you receive too.
How do you see, how do you consider that therapeutic clowns, medical clowns are seen in Cuba? How the families, the children, how they receive that help?
They receive with open hands. They accept all people, all family, because everyone wants to see their kids heal. So all clowns, come on. If it is a clown, the solution, come on. So they receive it with open hands here in Cuba. And as a big family, we are a big family, the therapeutic clowns, from Pinar del Rio to Guantanamo, completed. We work on, no matter if there are doctors, nurses, psychologists, voluntaries, we are a big family, people from churches. Big family.
I want to ask you both, and you tell me, for you as human beings, for you, which is the importance of laughter in not only in recovering ill patients, children, elderly persons, refugees, but in general, which is the importance of laughter? Margarita.
Make connection. That connect you with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Create connection. That's, for example, now with people three, with Jog, so we are connected. We are connected, and this is what we need to rock the wall of rock, professional rock. You are a journalist, you are a clown, a doctor. No, we are human beings.
Mm-hmm.
For you, Tarek?
I cannot say more than this, because it's connection. Laughter is it's a language. It's a language of laughter. You use it for being together. It's a very social, contagious thing to do. Everyone wants to laugh. Everyone likes to laugh. Everyone everyone knows that laughter helps me and helps you and helps everyone. So this is the biggest thing, connection, for me and for everyone.
Well, I thank you both for talking us on Telesur English about the work that you do, about the importance of laughter, the importance of medical therapeutic clowns, and the work you do, which is very important to give hope to all families, to people in general. Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.